Hello everybody, it's me, Dr. JZ. Today I want to show everybody a fascinating way of playing against white. So here's how it goes. So d6 followed by e6, doesn't really matter. You can play e6 followed by d6. And then the third move you play h6. What's the point of h6? Okay, h6 is just to prevent any kind of surprises with bishop g5, right, or knight g5. And in doing so, right, it prevents any kind of sacrifice on f7, okay? And now, okay, you do a6, all right, followed by c5. So a6 before c5, right, because you want to stop any kind of check, all right, by the bishop on b5. So that's the whole point. Now, right, this person actually took on c5, but there really isn't any danger, all right? Seriously speaking, like moving the other knight, right, the e7 knight to c6 is actually more positional. But in this way, this situation is also fine. Okay, now I think he wants to do a discovered check, which will not happen. I don't think this is correct. Don't really like it. I don't think it's correct. e5. Okay, so this is a little bit tricky. Yeah, this is a little bit tricky. b4, knight c4, and the knight can go to d6. And this is terrible. Yeah, this is terrible. So I think I'll just simply I'll simply defend it with my king. It looks very ugly, I know, but well, I mean, the king can serve very strong defensive purposes. And now, okay, knight e7 to f5 is an option. Okay, but okay, he stops it, right? Okay, with c3, right, stopping my knight hop to d4. So that's very good, actually. Okay, so my knight instead will go to f4, to d5. Alright, so in this situation, I think this is a blunder. I can simply take on b4. Maybe he was expecting me to play c4. And then he can put his knight on d4, which he did. And I think, yeah, I think that's just not wise, right? Because he wants to attack b5. Okay, sure, I understood. Okay, I will take the pawn first, okay, followed by taking the knight on d4. I mean, obviously you cannot take on b5, right, because of the fork. I have no clue what he just did, but that was an insane blunder, okay? That was an insane blunder. And okay, he's going to lose another piece, right? Yeah. Bishop takes c3. I mean, I take c3, of course. Yeah. Bishop retreats. I will simply take the knight or the bishop. Yeah. This situation, of course, is much better to take the bishop, and after that, I can simply defend it. I'm not so sure whether he still wants to play. All right. Yeah. Amazingly, you know, this king is so exposed, but because there's no way for white to launch an attack on my king, it's perfectly safe. Right. All thanks to the b2 pawn. Yeah. And now I can actually put my rook directly on c1. I can double it up. Yeah. Yeah, that's another blunder. Alright, so yeah, so this is a first victory with this defense. How would you call it? Okay, I call this thing the Sicilian-Cow Defense, right? Yeah, it's a hybrid, okay, of the cow defense and of the Sicilian pawn structure, right, like this, up to c5, okay? A more passive way, of course, is not to do c5, but to do something like b6, or even like g6, okay, like just following the plan, all right? But I think what I did is also fine, right? Okay, obviously, I mean, white is slightly better, but I mean, white still has to prove that, you know, he can win, right? In this game, white didn't white didn't really play well. Right? And even in this situation, look at the bar. Okay, it's perfectly level. Okay, it's just negative. Okay, this is slightly better for black. Okay, after king b6. Yeah. So where did white go wrong? Okay, I mean obviously this is just a horrible blunder with b4. If you didn't really play that, like a more circumspect this move g3. Okay, which is a little bit computer-esque. I think he can also play c4 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, c4 is slightly better for me. All right, yeah. So g3 first, stopping knight f4, and then after that you can do c4. Right. If let's say I play something like this, yeah, then c4 is possible, right? And this is something that white didn't grab hold of. All right. Okay, so enough said. Okay, I hope everybody enjoyed this first victory. Okay, I'm going to play another game. Okay, with the Sicilian Cow, and I show everybody how to play it. Right. Doesn't really matter. Okay, if he can do like d4, e4, c4 like this. Okay, you just go with the same plan. Okay, when I see my opponent playing the d pawn, I simply play my d pawn. Okay, to d6, one square forward. If I see him playing the e pawn, all right, I simply move my e pawn. Okay, so that's the procedure you should be following. All right. Okay, but it doesn't really matter. You can mix it up. Okay, but as long as you reach this early configuration, okay, on the third move, right, h3, everything is actually pretty alright here. Like the fourth move, okay. So previously I played I think a6 right before c5. I think in this situation you can simply play c5 straight away, right? So this is what I'll be doing, and let me see if he wants to go for the queen exchange. So he didn't go for the queen exchange in this situation, so you put the queen. Let me just think for a while, right? I don't think I'll move my queen, all right? But I'll move my kingside knight to c6, right? So this is a motif, okay? So your kingside knight has to move to c6 via e7, right? And and now after queen c2, obviously you're trying to do rook d1. So the right approach would be moving my queen to c7, symmetrical approach. And now, is he going to make b4? I don't think so, right? Simply because my bishop is protecting c5. So a good way would be to castle. Okay, there's multiple ways, right? I just want to look for the best possible way, right? Another way is to move my knight to a6. That's very, very ugly. I do not like it, all right? I do like the castling option, right? Just bishop e7. Okay, and what did he do? All right, so he moved symmetrical approach as well. So castling, and I believe that he will castle. And then after that, I'll move my rook here. All right, not to worry, okay? Because as long as the Sicilian pawn on c5 is protected, there really isn't anything to worry about, okay? If you suddenly lose the pawn on c5 for nothing, then I think your position is just awful. So in this situation, where to move the queen? I would move it to b6. You have to follow the dark square strategy. So it's very, very important, and I think now this is also quite critical, okay? He wants to do bishop c7, so he only moved knight a6. And after this, I think I can move my queenside rook to c8, and then knight c7. And what's so surprising about this? This position is that I have so few pieces on the king side, and white isn't really attacking. So yeah, that's really, really surprising. So if he wants to double up, you have to stop it. You have to stop it. So continuing my plan to move my knight to c7. Alright, so now h3 really is not really doing anything apart from creating an escape square. Okay, maybe this is not correct. Yeah, sorry about that, but okay, it's a mistake has been done. So I set the exchange. Right. I set the exchange accidentally, but does it mean that I will lose automatically? No, right? Because I think this dark square bishop is still very strong, still very powerful. So no worries. Okay, so I have two bishops. you know, I can simply cement my dark square bishop in the center. And I will ask white, what are you going to do about my dark square bishop? What are you going to do? Going to follow dark square strategy. All right, now I'm just attacking e4, but that can be defended very, very easily, right? So continuing my dark square strategy, I'm going to h4. Okay, that's not going to work. That is simply a blunder. And now I think my position is even better. Amazing, right? Okay. Amazing, everybody. This is amazing stuff. Yeah. So you guys know what? So the thing is that the lesson to be learned is that don't give up, right? If you're down exchange, doesn't really mean anything, okay? You still have to play on, right? So, okay, I'll just force him to exchange queens. I don't want to take the initiative, right? I want him to take the initiative. Just now I'm kind of forcing mate on f2, right? So the queen exchange is forced. So, but now in this situation, because I have so many pawns, so it really begs the question of what, you know, what he can do. So right now is that I'm just going to position my king, move my king to the right square, and then advance my queenside pawn. So I'm going to stop it, right? As usual, this is a dark square strategy in action, all thanks to h6. I move h6 on the third move. So buttressing my pawns. Okay, you can take it, sure. Okay, now this is a little bit annoying. Alright, got to admit it's a bit annoying. He's got to stop it. Oh, well, he didn't stop it. Why? Okay. Okay, that's a way of stopping things, but he just gave a pawn back. Why? Just simply move it back, alright. Okay, check it, and then I can move my bishop forward. Okay, now there's a ping on the king. There is a ping on the king. No, he just gave up. Okay, sure, gave up. All my pawns are on the, on the, previously, okay, all the pawns are on the dark squares. Okay, now, okay, I'm making use of the ping. So this is a winning position for me, okay, as long as I don't mess things up. I should be winning. Okay, dark square again. I've got to be very careful, right? Here, okay. Oh, should have just simply... Okay, anyway, I'm going to take one of the pawns. Yeah, it's okay. Check, alright. Time to advance the pawns. Blocking the bishop, okay, and then you advance. Now, okay, you advance, sure. Slow and steady. Yeah, there's no way, alright? Yeah, of course. Let me just look at the evaluation, everybody. Okay, slow and steady. Oh, there's a mate in 7. Okay, I'm going to play everything out. Okay, this is amazing stuff. Takes it, takes it, takes it. Here. Okay, this is pretty much a forced mate. Okay, just going to play everything out. Computer is so accurate. Okay, I think it's like mate in 2 or something. Yeah, of course. It doesn't really matter. Okay, and this is checkmate. Alright, I'm going to rewind this, everybody. This is very, very nice. Okay, after this, you can retreat, alright, but I think this is even faster. Yeah, we have a mate in 5, okay? Alright, yeah, so you got to do this, right? Yeah, opposition with the queen, then move the king, and then checkmate on b2. Okay, alright, hopefully everybody enjoyed this game. Hello everybody, I'm back. So for the third game, okay, the last demonstration, okay, I want to show everybody how to play against knight f3. Doesn't really matter, right? You're just going to play the usual move order. Okay, e6, d6, d4, h6, knight e7. You don't even waste any time. Don't even pause to think, okay? Right now, I'm just going to play a6 first, okay? I don't really want to commit to g6 because of e5. Okay, so yeah, I'm just doing a6 and c5 without without any other stupid moves right here. So this setup is similar to what I did in the first game. Remember, okay, you don't put your knight on g6, okay, that's like the traditional cow, okay, but you put your knight, your kingside knight on c6, okay, remember that. You do that after exchanging on d4, as in the Sicilian, okay, don't forget about how you play the Sicilian. Okay, so this is a typical Sicilian position, except that it's so much easier for you to develop as black, right? There is a bind, okay? Remember, there is a bind on d5, but that is something you have to accept. Okay, now you can choose to castle, or you can choose to do something else. I think I'll just keep the castling option open for now. You can actually castle queenside. It's just I'm kind of pondering whether this is the right approach. It's very, very dangerous, I know, but it may be the best way to do, okay? But before that, okay, I'll simply attack the knight, and then after that, I think I'll just castle kingside, which is much safer. Yeah, he wants to do a battery. He wants to do a checkmating battery, which is not going to happen, of course. I believe I can do g5, actually. It's very risky, but no, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's a bit too risky. So knight g4 instead, attacking the bishop. This is much better. This is more positional. I think Stockfish would recommend this move as well. Now I can actually chop the knight off if I want to. But I think my two bishops are very precious, so I'm not going for that. So I think I'll just play something more positional, right? The usual rook e8. Oh, you know what? Oh, I missed bishop g5. Okay, but bishop g5 is f4, so maybe e5, okay? I mean, maybe now I can do e5 here. Okay, I'll do e5, but there's a fork on d5, so it's very annoying. So I put my bishop to c6. And then after that, I think e5 should be perfectly fine. So this is actually a difficult position for white. Okay, very difficult. Okay, now e5. Yeah, I think now e5 should be fine. Okay. It takes time. Bishop g5. Yeah, knight f4. Then d takes e5. Yeah, he's pretty much dead here. Okay, so now, okay, what should I do? Yeah, it's not easy, not straightforward. No straightforward attack, but I think b5 is an option. I'll go for b5. Yeah. I try to attack, okay? Enough passivity. Okay, now you try to attack. Yeah. You can also trade the queens off, actually, if I want to, on a7. But maybe that's not very good. So I'm just forcing white to make committal moves. Oh, whoa, wow. I did not expect that. So, okay, I did not expect that at all. Maybe I should attack. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I should simply attack. Attack e4. Maybe, yeah. I think I'll just attack e4 and see what he wants to do. Yeah, I don't think that is correct. That's just doubling, right? And that's a huge blunder. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why he did that. Okay, I think he totally missed it. Okay, yes. Yeah, so the queen has to go back. This is just better for black. Yeah, I mean, just better. So the other way is just to go back here. I mean, it's still pretty much dead, yeah. So, just, I mean, it's just too many attackers on the e4 pawn. Alright? Okay, so, yeah, so with that, okay, let me just go back to the final position. Alright. Okay, final position. Okay, wait a minute. Just go back. Let's go down. Yeah, it's just terrible. Okay, negative. Yeah, it's just negative 6.5, almost negative 7. That's a horrible, horrible blunder. Horrible blunder. Oh, this is the final position, correct? Okay, wait a minute. What did he do? Oh, okay. I don't think he played that, right? But this is like Stockfish's drive. Okay, anyway, this is a way to proceed. All right, so yeah, that will be all for everything. I think I'm losing my connection. Okay, I hope everybody enjoyed my demonstration of the effectiveness of the Sicilian-Cow Defense. And please practice playing it, right? Everybody, you will like it. Okay, this thing is so easy to play. The first 5 moves, okay? You won't get this thing wrong. 5 to 6 moves, you won't get this wrong, okay?